Welcome back, everybody. Figure I'd do a John Deere 3038 review. Bought this thing about a month ago. We got 16, 17, 18 hours on it, something like that. Nice little tractor. It's 38 horsepower. It is the E model. If you know anything about John Deere, E model is the cheap man's model, but that's all right. It does what I need it to. Four-wheel drive, 38 or so gross horsepower, and I think there's like 30 or 32 at the PTO. You can check the specs on it. Nice little tractor. A family member of mine that's basically a dad to me, he's got one, and he's got almost 300 hours on his, so I put some time on it, and so I didn't just go buy it willy-nilly. I'd love to have a 4 Series. I was looking at a 4044M, but they're $15,000 more. And we all know John Deere likes their green and yellow. So, a couple things on this. Your dipstick right there, that's for your hydraulics. And then if you ever have to get into the hood of one of these things, if you're new and not sure, it's on this side. Push this button right here and the hood pops up like a car does, or a truck. And then your cowl right here, all this comes off too. There's a lever right here and there's a lever on the other side. Pop them up and this whole cowl removes too, so you can get behind the dash. Because let's see here, it doesn't have DEF, but it does have that, I guess, the DPF, particulate filter. If anybody doesn't know nothing about John Deere does have their own special quick attach. Basically, you pull these pins right here, pop them up, and this is actually a storage hole. And then you just tilt the bucket down, run into it, click it, hook it up, back it up, and that falls right into place. Got one on each side. I do have a set of forks for this. That gentleman I was telling you about, though, he's actually using my forks. I got 42-inch forks for it. Lift capacity on these things, I think it's like 1,800 pounds, right at 2 tons. This is the newer model. His doesn't have this, but apparently this has where you can do Bluetooth, download the app, and it'll keep track of your hours, and your fuel, and then let you know about your oil changes and stuff like that. So pretty basic, pretty nice, simple. I bought this tractor for a couple reasons. One, the neighbor right here has a pasture, and I mow that 3 or 4 times a year. And then the other neighbor right here, that strip that runs all the way across and it goes around in front of their house, I mow that 3 or 4 times a year. And then I'm looking at getting a PTO driven straw blower or straw chopper, whatever you want to call it. So when I do seed and straw, when you throw the straw bales in here, and I'm looking at getting one with a 50-foot hose, and I'll feed it when Randy spreads the straw. Do have a seeder for it, and that's one reason why I bought forks too. So those buckets, even if it's on a skid steer, those buckets ain't very big. You're talking 4 or 5 bales at best if you get creative. So with the forks, hook it up with the pallet, put 10, 15, 20 bales on there, and then get after it. But yeah, nice little tractor. Some things about this tractor. So, like I said, it's pretty basic. Like any hydrostat, you got your left and your forward and your reverse right here. Joysticks works normal, and then you can lock it out so it doesn't move at all right here. If you're working on it or something like that, they do sink a little bit though. Got 4-ways and your blinkers. You can do, this does allow you to do a manual park regen if you need to, which is a good thing. And then this right here, so let me zoom in on it. So if you partially depress the brake pedal, it actually locks your differential, and then if you fully depress the pedal, it's actually your brake. So just something to think about. One thing I do like about this tractor, being that it's 4-wheel drive, but it's not push button, it's that lever right here. Just pull straight up, boom, 4-wheel drives in, push it straight down, 4-wheel drives out. Really simple, no hassle, and I like simple. especially when it comes to tractors. Now, if I was a row crop farmer or doing something, it'd be a little bit different. And then being a hydrostatic, it does have two, I guess you can call it, gears. You got low and then you got high. Low with, 2,000, 2,200 on the RPM, you're talking probably 3.5, 4 miles an hour. And then high, I think it'll go 12 or 14 on high. I believe this is a Yanmar engine. I think it's a 3-cylinder and it is turbocharged. And then your parking brake. And then that's it. You got your seat belt. Of course, down there somewhere you got your manual seat. And this is for your arms. Pull it up to lift your links or your PTO, your 3-point, or you can push it down, set it. And then, of course, down here, you got this little gauge you can put down so when you drop it, it stays. That's your level. PTO is pretty simple. Do a pre-switch and then you just hold it and now kick your PTO on. And one thing people were concerned with or talked about that I've seen online with these tractors, they say you can't get off the seat without the PTO running because of the safety features. Well, that is false. Now the older ones, like that 18, 19 model one, I haven't tried his, so I don't know. But this is 25 model, what you do is once you turn it on and it's running and you need to get off the tractor and leave the PTO on, such as a straw blower, right here on the gauges, it will actually, you press the button and hold it down and it'll pop up PTO engage, safe to leave or safe to get off or whatever it is, right? And so you can do that. Just sit there. You got to stay in the seat though. That's one thing I learned figuring that out. You got to stay in the seat, hold the button down once the PTOs are engaged, and then I guess it's like a safety override feature and it allows you to get off with the PTO moving. Still got to put it in neutral and still got to put it in park though. So keep that in mind. But other than that, and then as I turn it on, I don't know if you can hear it, but it does have glow plugs and you hear it running. Nice little tractor. That's your menu options right here. And it shows your PTO hours, your soot level on your filter, regen. I guess it regens at the 65-hour mark, not sure. Or maybe it looks at your current soot level and based off your usage, 65 hours is when it'll regen. Then your 4-ways right there. And of course, on each side, you just push the button, cut them off, and then you're right. So that's simple and nice. And then your headlights, it doesn't even give you a signal that they're on. Which if it's time to use them when it's dark outside, you'll know they're on. But nice simple tractor, I like it. Couple things I don't like. This. So this is the toolbox. And all it is a roller compression style sleeve. Got a little bit of tools in there. Then when you put it in there, you gotta slam it shut. I don't use it a lot, but wear and tear. We'll see how that lasts. I don't care for that. You do have a generous cup holder over here, and then a little cubby hole, and you stick your phone in there. And they do give you a 12-volt thing, so if you want to run a USB, charge it, whatever. Or I've seen some guys do like those mounted speakers and power it from there, which is pretty cool. And then we'll get off here, and then your ROPS. I have it folded down because it's a nuisance, but your ROPS fold up and down. Which, this is what it is. But this is your fuel tank, which is nice. Which ROPS folded down, you gotta fight it a little bit. But I'm sure John Deere don't want your ROPS down anyway, so there's a valid point. The gauge, fuel gauge is manual. Buddy that's got the 1819 model, like I said, almost 300 hours on it. Fuel gauge still working, so hopefully that'll be good and trusty. Mine did come with a drawbar. His did not. And the reason why I point that out, if you're looking at one and you're wanting to tow something or row bar, I think it was a $400 or $500 upgrade if it didn't come with it. So just keep that in mind. Did come with R4 tires. I think my biggest complaint, there's a spider web right there, I ain't gonna go that way. I think my biggest complaint about this machine, or the way EMR does this, and it's a pain in the butt. So here's your fuel water separator, oil filter, which is nice, or that might be the oil filter, one of those. I mean, it's all right here. So they thought about that, but down here in that little hole is how you check the oil. And there ain't no easy way to get to it. I mean, you gotta think about it when you check it. And the problem is, it's recessed in there another 6 inches. Well, if you ever check the oil on anything, you know you gotta thread that rod into a little tube. And if it's late in the day or early in the morning, it is a pain in the butt. And if you've been mowing or been dusty or whatever, you'll end up touching that dipstick all over the tractor. And then that's one thing, and that's a review I see a lot, but that's one thing I wish would change on this tractor. They need to figure out a better way to do the dipstick. But other than that, it's a solid tractor. Its hydraulics are responsive. I think the lift capacity back here is, don't quote me, you can look up the specs, 3,000 or 3,500 pounds, somewhere right there. So, you know, for a 38 horsepower hydraulic or hydrostat is not bad. I wanted the 3035D model, which is gears with the power shift or shuttle shift, but apparently kind of like manual transmissions in vehicles, that is going away, and for these style tractors, they're going more to hydrostat. Me, again, I like manual. Let me grab a gear, you know, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, and just let me find a steady cruising gear. Another reason why I don't like hydrostat, not counting you lose horsepower at the PTO because of it, but this tractor doesn't have cruise control. So I don't think the M models either. You have to have an R model to get cruise control. So if you're mowing, like I mowed 8 acres the other day and I was on it for almost 9 hours. Well, guess what? You're holding that with your foot down for 9 hours, going back and forth, back and forth. So they do make a cruise control kit for this tractor. It's like $350, so it's not terrible. And that's what these punch outs are for. You can actually do it. And basically what you do is kind of like a little lawnmower. Grab it, and once you hold it, you engage it, and it just holds that speed for you. So that might be a future thing. We'll see. Yeah. And then, of course, there's a valve over here. I don't know if I can find it. But anyway, there's a valve over here so you can change your speed for your arms. Yeah, so that's my 3038. Couple things. So when I bought the tractor, it came with a bucket and it came with a mower, got a fertilizer spreader or a seed spreader, and then the trailer, right? Trailer, this cheap trailer. Had to go buy a spare tire because this tire, which I had to go get a new one, blew out on me. I think I have 420 miles on the trailer, and the dead center of it just popped. Kind of annoying, especially being a new trailer, but it is what it is. Like, trailer is cheap, 5,000 pound cargo capacity or something, so they're small. And you know, when you look at tractor packages, price is everything for customers. So when they build these packages, that's why you get a John Deere tractor with Frontier bush hogger implements, owned by John Deere, but it's more in their economy class, and then a cheaper trailer. But you know, 5,000 pounds, 18 or 20 foot. So luckily I got a new tire mounted, and then I got a whole new tire and rim set. So I had me a spare, $225 out the door for 2 tires and an extra rim. So I think that's pretty cheap, because when I went to Tractor Supply to go buy them, it was like $150 a tire. So I'll deal with that. But yeah, so there's my tractor. Got any questions on it, just ask. Oh, so people might beat me up in the comments, so we'll go ahead and address this. The reason why I went with John Deere, one, I am a John Deere guy. I love John Deere. Been around John Deere my entire life. Grew up farming, and we have 4020s. Talking to the guy the other day, and he's like, oh, you had a 4020, that's nice. You know, that's like a 40 horsepower tractor. So let me rephrase. When we had a 4020, I mean we had a 4020 of a 1968 model, a real tractor. We had a 4320, and then we did have old Massey Ferguson. So John Deere never had no issues. We put almost 14,000 hours on that 4020 that we had. Still have it. So anyway, so I've been around John Deere a long time. Like a lot of these people, you grow up with a brand, and if you got good customer service and good life out of the machine, stick with it, right? That's one thing. And then two, I wasn't brand specific. I like John Deere, but John Deere is a little bit more expensive. So when I was looking, I actually found a Kubota that I was going to buy, because it was going to be trailer, bucket, mower, the tractor, of course, and then the fertilizer player. And then LX model, maybe, I can't remember now, but it was like 38.5, 39 horsepower, bumping 40. And so I liked it. And it was $4,000 or $5,000 cheaper as the kit or package than the John Deere. I was like, well, shoot, let's go with that. At the end of the day, I know what I was going to use it for, so as much as I like John Deere, it ain't that special, right? Well, my problem is, when I got to talking to the Kubota dealer, although it was around $5,000 cheaper by the time, because I did finance this, by the time, I put a little money down, and then the finance rate and stuff with the interest rates, it was going to be about $3,000 or $4,000 more than the John Deere. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, John Deere, though a little bit more expensive up front, if you go through John Deere Financial, they have 60, 72, or 84 month 0% APR or 0% interest. So, my monthly payments go straight to principal. And so basically they're loaning me this tractor until I pay it off or trade in or whatever else, but 0%. So I went for 84 months because it's all about keeping the monthly bills low, because I own half of my stuff, and then I got half of it financed. Like my equipment trailer is paid for, my skid steer is paid for, and the Mini X is paid for. I have my truck over there, and then I have the tractor is what I pay owe on, right? So I do 50-50. Just have personal preference. Everybody's different, so that is what it is. But anyway, and so I talked to Kubota. I'm like, look, hey, due to your financing, you're this much more than John Deere, although you're advertising you're $5,000 cheaper. And they're like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. I said, okay, well, you just made up my mind. So I got a John Deere, because 84 months, 0% interest, that's nothing to scuff at all. That's aggressive. And so that's one thing John Deere has going for it. And if anybody's ever dealt with John Deere, you understand the John Deere financial department is spot on. Spot on. So, yep. There's my tractor. So while I'm out here too, I was just thinking about it. I'm going to do a quick review on my Amazon shed. So my mother bought me this. She went and bought one, asked me to come put it up, and I told her I would. And she's like, well, how much are you going to charge me to put it up? And I was like, well, you're my mom. I ain't going to charge you. It's family. Do what you do. And she's like, well, what if I buy you one? You learn how to put it up, and then you can come put mine up. I was like, well, shoot, works for me. So this shed came off Amazon. It's $350 or $360. That's including delivery. You get what you pay for, but for the money, truthfully, it's not that bad. Took about 4 hours to put it up, which is even better. So it's a 10 by 15. So if anybody's ever looking at them, this is what one of them looks like. It's 10 foot by 15 foot, and it's 8 foot tall. And like for my tractor, plenty. My tractor's 5 foot, so, you know, if I had a small lawnmower, which we keep pushing more in there and just odd and end stuff, perfect. So, what I mean by you get for, so you don't have any gussets right here? No gussets at all. And why is that a problem? Well, if I sit there, I don't know if you can see that because I'm probably shaking with it. So there's no, if you can see that shaking. So there's no support, right? And so it just sits there and wobbles. That's where you get what you pay for. It came with anchors, but it came with concrete anchors. So I went to Home Depot or Lowe's, got some 3/8 4 foot rebar, bent it, and I put 3 on each side, over here and over there, to hold it down, which is working. Nice shed for the money. Most pain in the butt part was the tin, because they don't give you no instructions on tin, and I've never dealt with tin in my life, so that was a little bit of a learning curve. And then they give you these little rubber grommets or a gasket right here that runs all the way across, so you can cover that live edge, which is nice. But yeah, so that's my Amazon carport. Works good. I was like I said, and I'll say it again because my mom asked me, you get what you pay for, but for $350, it's not too bad at all. And she said they had different colors. I'm not sure, but it's like a dark gray tin. Doesn't really match the house well, but it is what it is. Fits well. Pretty light too. But yeah. So anybody's been looking at Amazon for carports, let me know, and I can give you thoughts and ideas on it. All bolted, all pre-drilled, even the tin up here, right here, all the tin, your posts are pre-drilled, got pilot holes. These I don't like. They come with like a rubber grommet O-ring. They're really small. It's quick, like that one right there. Quick to sling them off and break them. So that's one thing you gotta think about. But yeah, overall, not bad. We'll see how long it lasts. Works, keeps the tractor out. Normally when I park my tractor, I keep my seat and stuff down. And if my lawnmower, I get a 0 turn. My lawnmower would fit. I put lawnmower here too, but yeah, that don't work because the 0 turn's like a 52 inch. Because I cut our grass, which is almost an acre, and then we cut the neighbor's house over here, which is 3/4 acre. This neighbor right there, they got 3/4 acre of grass. I cut it, and then the neighbor through the woods right there, I cut theirs, and then the neighbor way down on the other side, I cut theirs too. So that's why I have a 0 turn. Get comfortable and do it fast. But yeah, and when I first moved up here, none of these houses were here, and they started selling land, and I wanted to buy it, but land in Western North Carolina, if it's level like this, goes pretty expensive. But this is my front yard when I'm sitting on the porch. It was a lot better when the houses wasn't there, but yep, that's my view. And then family member over there is actually a our neighbor, but family member. And so the wife's brother and the neighbor right here, this pasture, we actually have a white buffalo. And so if I ever get a thing of her, a picture or video, I'll show y'all what a white buffalo looks like, because apparently it's a hallmark, because there are not many white buffaloes running around. But anyway, yep, there's a review on the tractor and the shed. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll keep them coming. Y'all have a good one.